We're live. All right. Welcome everyone to another impactful episode. You can see a big balloon here. It's 50th episode of my show, Stories That Impact. The show launched with a hope to impact people's life by sharing their personal stories of these amazing people who went through hell and decided to never give up. Being the 50th episode, it's my greatest pleasure to bring my Sifu, my first mentor, Gurudev. Let me first introduce before I grab my guest. It all started in 2016 where he thought that he has a potential to do more. Being in sales for his entire life, he thought he's good at it. However, he wanted to do more, be the best. And that led him to meet his first mentor, Grant Cardone. On his personal development journey, he found another amazing mentor, Dan Lok. Being in a mediocre life for 33 years, he went through enough pain to start a movement in 2018 called as Passionpreneur, with the mission of creating a universe of people who are changing the world and becoming legends by impacting a billion lives. He helps professionals to quit their 9 to 5 jobs and build a business around their passion. Since then, he has impacted thousands of them, including myself, and help generate millions of rupees and dollars. With that, let me call upon India's number one passionpreneur mentor, a slumdog who became multimillionaire, a highly paid India's influencer, author of the two best-selling books, 80% Mindset, 20% Skills, and 6 Sundays a Week, and my Shifu, we call him proudly Gurudev Dev Gadhvi.
Thank you. Wow, what an introduction, and congratulations for this
Yes.
amazing 50th episode. Oh my God, you come a long, long way, Amit.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And it's been a pleasure. I can tell you that, the 50th episode and you gonna come onto my show has already given me several sleepless nights to ensure that, I be at the best. But nevertheless, and I'm sure there are going to be loads and loads of chats. They already started, so I'm going to get them. But let me start off. And the way I want to know is I want to know the mediocre 33 years of life and why you define it as mediocre.
Wow. First of all, please excuse me. I'm traveling, so this orange background and all is actually the studio. So excuse me. But yeah, 33 years of mediocrity is doing something which is below your own potential. Like, somewhere inside, that you can do more, but you're doing less. Living less than your potential is mediocrity. And I was that guy 33 years. I come from a very humble background. My dad is a truck driver. I mean, he was a truck driver, he's no more now, but I grew up in slums. And I always had the perception and belief that, what, actually, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, and I'm growing and improving and all that thing. For 16 years in my corporate job, I used to think that I'm growing and improving. But little did I know that I was mediocre. My goals were mediocre. My aim, my ambitions, my dreams, my vision. There was no vision. There was no mission. I was just like headless chicken, like a corporate zombie. Did not know why I'm going to work. And even though I had 3 lakh rupees a month salary at that time, but I had no fulfillment. Like, it's not like I was frustrated as such, but there was no fulfillment. Like, क्यों कर रहे हैं यार? पैसे के लिए क्यों भाग रहे हैं? Is this why we are doing this? Just, make money, pay the bills, and die. I don't think so. I think that is the mediocrity, that pain that I felt in the year 2016, when I just woke up from my middle class sleep. I usually say that. So that's the story.
Wow. Well, let me go back a little more, if you don't mind. So when you said now, being into corporate, earning 3 lakhs and coming from a place where you said your father was a truck driver, right? It in itself, is a huge achievement for many, right? Now, my question is that, I want to go back a little. So I want to understand how was your upbringing? Like from your parents' time, and how was your school? Were you like the topper in your school and college and things like that? So let's start from very early childhood.
Yeah, my upbringing, I was just like a normal kid, and I was not a topper. Neither I was at bottom. I was somewhere in the middle. That's why I say I always middle class, mediocre. Everywhere you go, you will not find me at top. Neither you'll find me at bottom. I was somewhere in the middle, and I'll realize it is actually dangerous to be in the middle. Is very dangerous, because with the bottom, that you're bad and you need to improve, you need to grow. But somewhere in the middle is acceptable in a society, that it's okay to be middle class, it's okay to be mediocre. But why? So my childhood was not bad, but I was born in an area where everybody was doing an odd job. Mostly laborers, rickshaw drivers, truck drivers. I come from that surrounding, and my mom and dad used to make sure that we don't mingle with anybody outside, right? We have neighbors, it's fine. Hi, hello, it's fine, but not to actually invest too much of time, because they'll abuse, they'll fight, and all that. And the environment was so toxic that it was surrounded by people who are drunk, who will fight, who will gamble, who will abuse. So in that environment, my mom and dad made sure that we stay indoor and just go to college, go to tuition, come back, and that's about it. So this is the environment that I grew up in, from the childhood. But mom and dad did amazing job. Is the best thing they did for us is they put us in an English medium school. That was the best thing that has happened to us. Nobody from that area had gone to an English medium school. They did not even go to school, most of them. But that's how we were really, really lucky to go to an English medium school as a childhood. So this is how we grew up in. Never went for outing, never went anywhere, compromising, shortcuts. I heard my mom saying to my dad that, oh, they wants to go to outing, the picnic. I remember this incident, and I overheard this conversation, but we don't have 300 rupees. What do we do? What do we tell him? And I heard that. And next day in the morning, I said, you know what, mom, dad, I actually don't feel like going to picnic, because I heard this conversation. So I said no to it. So this is my upbringing, but I grew up with a lot of good values, from my parents.
And I appreciate that, as a child, you understand that, your parents are also going through certain hardship, and you were not like a good child in a way to, at least understand that, and, make sure that, you also take care of that. Now, before I ask my next question, like I said, they're going to be a flood of comments, and I would love to show them. And, so the first comment comes from Madhu Vyas ji, and she says, my mentor, Dave Gadhvi, #1 passionpreneur. I'm so grateful. Of course. Thank you. And then there is another comment. Oh, Arshana says, congratulations, Amit. Yes, thank you. Shruti says, this I also felt I'm not using my full potential. I'm sure you all will. Then there are more comments. Happy to see you, Dave. Wishing you great success, Archana.
Thank
And
you.
then Anirudh Patak, lovely to see you, Dave and Amit. Fantastic. All right. So let the comments please pour in, and I'm going to put it out whenever it's appropriate. So Dave, now, you've been earning pretty decent, right? 3 lakh rupees in India is a reasonably okay amount. Okay, it's definitely not less, right? Now, what was that point in your life that you decided, not leaving the, but you decided that, enough is enough? And when you coined that term, that my life is mediocre, what was that point? What situation came basically?
It's a real life incident. What happened is I had joined a new company as an associate sales director, and in one of those early events, the CEO was addressing 200 plus people, and he said, all the sales people were there, and he said, "You know what? If you put 100%, I'll make sure that you get 150%." I was like, "Wow, this is a great promise, and it's a new company for me to prove myself. I need to really work hard." So that evening, as the event was over, I went back home. I said, "You know what, man, I need to become the top sales person, champion in the company, and I want to be like a number one." But then I said, if I want to be number one, I need to have skills which are like lethal, killer skills of sales. And so far, been in sales for more than 15, 16 years. At that time, 13, 14 years, I never learned sales and invested time, money, and effort in learning sales except for the training we got from corporates. I just went on Google. I actually went on YouTube and I searched sales training. And I found my first mentor, Grant Cardone. I watched his video for 50 minutes and I was hooked. I said, "Oh my God." And I just consumed his content like somebody who's been hungry for so many days and he got food. I was like, "Oh man, eat, 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 eat as much as I can." And I just submerged myself in learning. And while I was doing all this, it made me realize that, oh my God. And I stumbled upon his first book, The 10X Rule. It made me realize my dreams, my goals, my ambitions are so low, and that is the reason my action is low. Because of which there is a friction which is starting to build, which I was not able to understand for some time. Is why was I not fulfilled? Why was I not happy? Even if I'm making 3 lakh a month, I was traveling the world and all. And that feeling I realized was doing things which is less than your potential. I was putting probably 3 to 5% of my effort in terms of my potential, and that was a gap of 90 plus percent of unused potential. And this is where I started my journey. That, man, I need to use my potential, and I started taking action. Everything changed. My energy went up, my drive went up, my happiness went up, everything went up, and people started looking at me in a different way. Like, here's how I used to now, initially, before I, had this realization, I used to enter in the office and say, "Morning, morning, morning." This is how we used to be. After I was enlightened by these things and I was taking massive action, here's how I used to enter. "Hey, morning, 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 morning." I used to give high five to everybody, and everybody will know Dev Gadhvi is in the house. So that realization of doing less was painful at that time.
And I'm sure you might have implemented it. So the reason it all started because of the new CEO putting out to everyone, and you implemented it some. So did you get that benefit to that? I mean, for that period when you started implementing it, did you
Oh
see
yeah.
the benefit in your work as well?
Oh, big time, big time. So I just started learning and my life started to change. And I started to think that what has happened? Why is it that I'm getting more rewards now? I'm closing more deals, I'm making more money. And then I invested like $2,000 in Grant Cardone's sales program as well. And I got 10 times more returns because I became like a top. My CEO came and told me, in front of everybody that, this man is amazing. He is a champion, he's a star in front of all the salespeople within just few months, handful of months. And I became like a poster child. He will give my example to every salesperson, and the team was sizable. Like, it was not a small team, it's a big company. 1,300 plus people are there, and team was also in like maybe 100 or so. So out of 100 people, you become like a top one, traveling the world, closing multiple crores. So it just showed, within just few months I was like a complete different person. So I became the top person.
That's interesting. I have few more comments. Ronak says, "Good to see you, Dave."
Good to see you, Ronak.
Venu is happy to attend this.
you know
मधुजी is ऐसा खोया मैं तुझ में तूने मुझको मुझसे मिला दिया. You helped me find myself and help others. Right? Thank you, Dave. Wow, that's really amazing.
Thank you,
So
Madhuji.
sweet. And then there's more. Congratulations, Amit ji, for Jubilee, and what an occasion to listen to Dave ji too. Love you both, and God bless. And there's one question. I'll pick that up in a moment. So now, so you got the realization. You, of course, you found Grant Cardone, your first mentor. You learned 10x times of doing things, and you, of course, implemented that in your own organization and become the limelight of the entire sales batch. And then what happened? Then what was the next step where you decided that what was that thing that came into your mind that what, I need to go to the world now, I need to help millions and billions of people? What was that thing came into your head?
Yeah, yeah. This started when, after the period of realization and the results, I was one day just sitting and thinking, like, wow, how is my life changing so fast? And how am I so happy all the time and so vibrant and energetic all the time? What has happened? And then I looked at what has changed in my life. Yes, I've acquired some skills as well, but is it because of the skills that I'm so excited? I realized no, it is not because of the skills. I realize it's because I changed my mindset, my attitude, my energy started to change, my happiness, my hunger started to change, my action went up, and so did my result. I said, oh my God, mindset is so powerful that even if I don't learn any other skill, by just changing the mindset, I can become a different person altogether. Then something dawned on me. Then why is it that for whole life I did not realize this? That mindset is so powerful that if you just change your mindset, your energy, your vibration, your life can be different. Why nobody told me? And I felt the pain of losing 13, 14 years of my career, that I wish I would have known these things, the secrets that I'm learning from Grant Cardone many years ago. My life would have been completely different than what it is right now. And then this realization of mediocrity came in, that I was mediocre. Despite working hard, I was still mediocre. And I started thinking that how many people in India would be like that? How many people still don't understand and don't know that they're still suffering from this disease called mediocrity? And no doctor is able to detect that. And who's going to wake them up? Because they're going to again feel the pain of losing so many years. I said, I don't want to help. I don't want other people to lose that. And I want to help those people so that they don't feel the pain that I'm feeling right now, because they don't even know what they don't know. So how do I help them? How do I help them? I had no idea. I don't have lots of money sitting in bank account that I can quit my job and start doing that. So I just went on social media. I said, you know what? I'm going to share my knowledge with the people, start from wherever I am with whatever I have, and whoever I can help, I will do that on social media. Started creating the content. First started with the blogs, like sales blogs, then sales videos and mindset and beliefs and all these things. I started doing that. This is how my shift happened. And I said, you know what? As Grant Cardone says, that we need to have a mission in life. What is the mission? What is Dave Gadhvi's mission then? I said, okay, I'm going to help people. How many people should I help? Should I help 1 million people? And then I started with 1 million, that became 10 million, and eventually became 1 billion. So, I just started to help people through social media and have a big goal that in my lifetime, I want to transform 1 billion life. This is now, at that time, it was 1 million, that I'm going to transform 1 billion life. And, here was the logic. A lot of people say, what is the logic of 1 million? Why did you come to 1 million? I looked at the research and I found that there are 260 plus million Indians living in middle class. It's like, oh my God, one fourth of India is in middle class, or even more now. It was based on 2015-16 data. Almost 50% of people are in middle class right now. Even if I can help 1 million people, it's gonna be like, I think my birth is worth it. That's how I got to my mission.
Wow, that's really profound actually, because you're absolutely right. Sometimes, I mean, we just don't realize our own potential till the time someone just comes and kicks your butt and like, hey, come on, do it, sort of. So
Yeah.
that's really interesting. Now I have more comments, and believe me, comments are just pouring in, and I love to share them. So Money Kandan says the power of having mentors in life is very important, and they have the power to see you what you don't see. Wow, that's nice.
Nice,
That's
nice.
nice. Heyman Patil is just very glad to probably be in the session.
Thank you.
And Madhia Khan. So Madhia Khan was one of the persons who actually it told me about Dave back a
Yes, I
year and a
remember.
half ago.
I
So
remember. I
happy,
remember.
congratulations. Yes. And yeah, thank you very much, Madhya. And there are more. We are so grateful to that day you woke up from the mediocrity sleep and created Passionpreneur. Absolutely.
Thank
That
you.
is
Thank you.
true. That's why I asked that what was that historic moment? We all need to know that as well. Birth is worth it. Wow, that's nice. And one last for now. Dave said, I appreciate your efforts in mentoring passionpreneurs daily with many people, and I admire. What is the one thing that is pushing you daily towards your goal? All right, we can take this question, sir. I'll just display it. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what is one thing that is pushing me daily? Um, is the feeling of doing something which is meaningful and something that is gonna be there long after you're gone. Like having that feeling of creating something which outlasts you, the movement, the idea, the impact, that even if you're gone, that impact is still there. And I think that is something which is driving me every single day, and do things which sometimes even I don't like doing, and I don't like waking up so early sometimes to do things, but I still do it because I know the happiness that I would get as I impact a lot of people, and as the legacy is built one brick at a time. I think that the feeling is so powerful that it just makes me do things and run miles. I think that is one thing, creating a legacy which is going to outlast you for others, which is going to keep adding value to people, keep impacting people, whether it's through videos, through courses, through books, through my mentees, through creating the environment, empowering people who is going to again empower other people like Amit and so many other passionpreneur mastermind community. That actually drives me. That really drives me. That is how I feel happy.
Wow, wow, that's really amazing. So let's go to the next part now. So I'm just gonna go further and further. So now you got the idea. Now you started, putting out content, helping people, probably in your own area, sales to start begin with. What was the time when you decided? And I'm sure there would have been a time where, what was the time you decided that okay, now I'm gonna quit my job, and how much time it was during when it started the first, when you started putting content, and the time where you said that okay, now I'll quit my job,
Mm-hmm.
and
You
how
know,
did you decide that as well? I'm sorry.
yeah. So honestly, Amit, I never thought that I can become an entrepreneur or a passionpreneur. I never thought I can be a businessman. Lot of people used to tell me, "अरे तुम गुजराती हो, खून धंधा तो तुम्हारे खून में होता है." I said, I think I am a duplicate Gujarati. I don't have any entrepreneur genes in me. I don't think I can run a business. That's what I used to think earlier. But the way life just unfolded after this realization that I want to help people, it was just unbelievable. One thing led to another thing to another. And I remember one incident which I shared with you and some of my mentees as well, is when I was sharing this content selflessly, giving all the content. Initially, some people will not believing me, some people are laughing, some people are not, supporting me. But eventually, people started paying attention to what I had to say. And then one fine day, when I was sitting in a cafeteria, I got a call from Nigeria, and I said, hello. I said, is it Dave? I said, yes, Dave. This is I'm calling from Nigeria, and my name is Pradeep. I saw your content, and it is really valuable to me, and it has made a lot of difference to me. I said, well, thank you so much. He asked me a great question, which literally changed my life, and I started thinking in a different direction then. Until then, I was just giving, no idea how I'm gonna make money, no idea how if I can launch myself as a coach or mentor or business. He said, Dave, do you do paid coaching? I was like, yes, right? The beta man mein laddu futa, that wala moment. and and I was like, yeah, I do that. And then he said, how much do you charge? Like my brain at that time started working like a supercomputer. Started doing a lot of calculation because I had no idea how much typically a coach would charge. I was like, how much people charge? They 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10, 15. But if I cannot take long time, right? So I said, you know what? Typically, I charge 5,000 rupees. But if you're doing it next week, we can do it for 3,500. And I heard the most beautiful word ever. And the word was, okay. Boom! That was my first proof of concept that, oh my God, people are ready to pay me money for the things that I'm ready to do for free. And I want to impact lives for free. I don't even care about the money. And here people are wanting to pay me money. That was the first initial thought which came to my mind that, you know what, I can make money from this. But that still did not give me enough push to quit my job. It was just a validation of proof of concept. Then second proof of concept happened where I got 26,000 to coach a person from Singapore to crack an interview in an MBA in a medical college through one of the people I was connected through on WhatsApp. Then another POC happened for 1.6 lakh rupees to train and coach people on sales transformation on weekend. At that point of time, I realized that, oh my God, I made 1.6 lakh just from four people. That also on the weekend, teaching sales, which I really love teaching. I got something big here. And that's when I realized that, you know what, I need to plan my exit from 9 to 5. And this was in the year 2017 somewhere, late 2017, 2018, and parallelly I was writing my first book, 80% mindset, 20% skills. And early 2018, my I was planning to quit the job at the end of 2018, but it got preponed by some incident that happened in the office where I was shamed and I was humiliated, and I said, you know what, it's done. It's done. April 2018, I said goodbye to my job. And I had built a plan. I'm going to execute this, creating a Passionpreneur mastermind and launching myself as a coach or a mentor. And then we're going to see. I didn't have a lot of backup. I didn't have a lot of, 100% clarity. I had a good amount of skills that I had developed in last 1.5 years from 2016, 2017. I had a lot of skills, sales, marketing, branding, book writing. So I said, you know what, why don't I teach this to people? So this is how the quitting the job came into picture, and this period lasted for 1.5 years from learning to quitting and earning.
Wow, amazing. And I can really imagine about the first call, and when you hear the word okay, I can sense that. Definitely. And many can understand that as well. There are lots of comments pouring in. I have to share them. So let's see from Smita. She says, congratulations, Amit, another person who is changing millions of life, is true legend. Blessed to have Gurudev as a mentor for life. So sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Piyush Patel, you are my abundant source of inspiration. Thanks a lot for being there in my life. Keep shining. Absolutely, Piyush.
Thank you, Piyush. Thank you.
Davis. Jitendra says, hi, Dev and Amit. Glad to see you both. Dave, I would love to know that what is the one thing that comes in your mind as you get up at dawn? All right, we can take this question now.
Wow. Well, the first thought which I have primed my mind to think, and now it is becoming default, is the feeling of gratitude. I realize that you can't produce anything, you can't achieve anything, you can't do anything if you're not grateful, and if you don't have feeling of happiness and joy, you can't produce, you can't create anything. So I have consciously programmed my mind to feel grateful early in the morning so that my day starts on a very positive note. So that is the grateful feeling that I have in the morning. Then I of course do my ritual, and I prime my mind and ask myself that, who can I help today? Who can I help today? I ask these questions a lot to myself, whether I wake up, whether I'm doing things. How can I add more value to people? How can I add more value to people? Because see, if you add more value to the universe or the marketplace or the people, whoever you want to call them, if you add more value, you will become more valuable.
True.
If you become more valuable, you will make more money as well, because money is nothing but the value created in the marketplace. So I prime my mind to be grateful and add value to people. That's what I do every single day in the morning.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Dave, let me ask you this question. So now you're in 2018 and you're done with your job. It happened, preponed it. In fact, that's fantastic in a way. And now you're there. You get up the next day in the morning. You don't have a job now, right? And you know that there is no salary, like, it's like a safety net, right? For many,
Yeah.
that's the thought process, right?
Yes, yes.
What, how was your first month or first 2 months, especially when there's nothing incoming in that sense, that, the fixed amount that used to come?
Yeah, yeah. So I tell you, Amit, it has been a roller coaster at the beginning, right? As the day when I quit my job, and there is a video as well. Some of you might know it. Just go to YouTube and search "I quit, bye bye, Dave Gadhvi." Okay, you'll see the entire day. I documented my entire day of me quitting the job. I had a very, very, bad feeling at that time. A lot of mixed feeling. What if it doesn't work? What I'm feeling bad. What if it, I can't make it, and what if I have to leave the house? I have to sell the car. A lot of negative chatter happening. Um, at that night, I used affirmations, and I even documented on the video. That gave me positive boost and energy. The next day, when I woke up and I had already put down my paper, and the first morning was so blissful. No boss to report to. Oh my God, no boss to report to. Wow. I don't have to go to office. I don't have to do anything. And that feeling, I'm telling you, I still remember very clearly. Very blissful. Very blissful. And I can just, I'll just take a black coffee, stand in my balcony, and observe people rushing early in the morning, and they're driving the car, and go around my, in my society I can see people rushing from the, to the gates. I was like, oh my God, I don't have to do any of those things. Wonderful. Then I started working on my program, my campaign that I designed, Passionpreneur Mastermind. My goal was to have 20 people who can each pay me 1 lakh rupees for the mentorship program, so I can have my time freedom, because I needed 2 lakh rupees a month for have a basic survival amount. I didn't have the backup. I didn't have a lot of money saving and all that thing. The only choice that I had is to make this campaign work. So I designed 6 workshops in 6 different cities, and then bring those people, provide them knowledge, food, everything sponsored. And at the end of the session, have 2 or 3 people join the mentorship program. That period, first event was a disaster. When I quit my job, I did it in Gurgaon. I had approved more than 60 people, only 20 people showed up, and I'm going to cut short the story. But out of the 20 people, nobody bought my mentorship program. And my life started flashing in front of me. Is this the end of life? People laugh
Mm.
at me. I have no money coming in, no paycheck coming in. I have loans. I have a minimum 2 lakh of commitment. What would people say? All that thing, my heart just sank, and I had literally had tears in my eyes that day. I'm very strong emotionally. Not that crying makes you weak, but I don't usually cry. And I had tears in my eyes. I picked myself up because next week I had another event in Pune, again sponsored, same process and everything. I went back home, fine tune. And Pune, the event came, and at the end of the event, I said, "Who would like to be part of the Passionpreneur Mastermind?" 1 second, no hand went up. 2 seconds, no hand went up. 3 seconds, no hand went up. My heart started to sink. रात आगे आंखों के तारे आगे तारे होते ना वैसे टिमटिमाने लगे कि भाई लपेट लो अपना बोरिया बिस्तर हो गया अपना धंधा
Mm.
गोल. But then one person raised hand, two, three, four, five, six. I think about 10 or 11 people said, yes, we want to join your Passionpreneur Mastermind. And out of that, I shortlisted 6 of them. I was like, this is the journey. And then it was just upward hill. Within 2.5 months of that period, I went to different cities, different events. Many people joined. Piyush, who commented, Piyush also was in one of those cities in Ahmedabad. He traveled from Surat to Ahmedabad just to attend a physical event. He joined the Passionpreneur Mastermind. Within just 2.5 months, I replaced my entire year's income in just 2.5 months. This was like, oh my God, mind blown that, oh my God, I can do this in just 2.5 months. Whole year is free now. And that was the first year where I made my 1 crore within just 2018, 2019.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. A crore figure in an Indian mind is it's absolutely huge figure. That's one thing, because it takes a lot of time if you're in your 9 to 5 to just accumulate it. But just to have that word crore itself is like a OMG moment for many, right? So now you got your people in, and you started mentoring them, teaching them, right? So then what happened? So how did you, now I'll just fast forward a bit. and come to the point where you have started going into multi-millionaire, right? So now when we say million, and I assume that is the dollar million value, so it's going to be more than 7 crores rupees, right?
Yeah.
So how did that transition happen? Because for most of the people, the problem happens is that they get stuck in a certain position for a very long time and that becomes stagnant, right? Moving up it's like a big milestone in itself, right? So
Yeah.
again, of course, your mission is there, but how did you manage it to do it?
Very. This is a wonderful question. I think best so far. You see, one thing what people don't realize, in my experience, is we chase external things blindly, right? Whether it is a better job, better career, more money, house, car, we just chase those things. I realize that you should not chase that. What you should chase is becoming a better version, a better person. What I focus on is every year I have to die and reborn as a new person every year. And I'll give you an example. The kind of person who you are, who's making about 3 lakh a month, is different than the person who you are, who is making 1 crore a year. You need to be a different person altogether. So you attract 1 crore. So becoming that person, and then now you need to go to the next level to make more money. You need to become a bigger and better person next year in all the forms: your emotional intelligence, your knowledge, your mindset, your skills, all these things, your team, everything has to go to the next level. So every year you need to die and need to be reborn as a new person every year. And once you do that every year, you go from being a person who deserves 1 crore, and you die and you reborn because of your knowledge and skill as you're upgrading. You just focus on that can you become a better person next year when you're reborn as a person who deserves 2.5 crores. Next year you're reborn who deserves 7 crores. So universe gives you what you deserve, not what you want. So to get what you want, become deserving of that. So don't just chase blindly the money, the success, and the cars, and fancy things. Focus on, am I a better person than what I was last year? And how do you know whether you're a better person or not? Is if you do not have new challenges, new problems in your life, that means you're not grown. If you're still battling with the problems of last year, you're still not grown, right? Because if there is a problem level 5 and you worried about that problem level 5 last year because your level was 2 or 3, even this year, then you're not grown. But because the problem level 5 is still 5, just because your level has gone to 7 or 8, the problem level 5 does not feel like problem level 5. So every year I put myself in a place where I face different challenges, different problems, whether it is launching a summit, whether it is hiring new team, whether it is launching new funnels, whether it is finding new avenues of running ads, whether it's Clubhouse. I reinvent myself every year. And I'm telling you, every year, Amit, it is painful. Every year, it is like you go and start from the bottom, and then you grow your ladder. Like, just example, right? Clubhouse. At Clubhouse, when I started, nobody knew who Dev Gadhvi was. I had to wait for 3 4 hours before I can say, hello, I'm Dev Gadhvi, right? I want to introduce myself. I had to wait for my turn for 3 4 hours. Freaking crazy. Like, I've not done that. I'm not used to it. Not that I'm like a big shot. I cannot wait. But when you have a certain level of success in your business, in your life, it is painful to just wait for 3 4 hours. But yet, you know what? You need to be a humble student. You need to be grounded, and you need to reinvent yourself. Going from there to having 5,000 followers within just 1 month on Clubhouse. Like, it's big deal on Clubhouse, because even one person will follow you based on your live conversation, not what you've done in the past or who you are. That gives you a little bit of edge, but you have to be what's in it for me right now. So I think, to answer the question, what does it take to go from 1 crore to becoming a millionaire? I think it is your ability to kill your old self and be reborn as a new personality every year and take new challenges every year.
Wow. It's really, really amazing, because when you said that, you reborn every year, and the challenge, if you have it at the same as the old year or last time, that means you're not upgrading yourself. Now that thought itself, if we have it, every single day, even, we can be better than what we were yesterday. And I'm sure cumulative, we're going to be much better than what we are. And I think that's you're an example for that, right? Because it's not just you said it humbly in a whole year, but it's every single day. It boils down to daily things that you do
Yes.
every day better. Wow, that's really really amazing. Now, the biggest challenge, Dave, generally is that, now when you started off, of course, you were single, right? I mean, you were one person doing maybe many things, right? Slowly and gradually, I believe you started adding people into your group, right? Now, when we all know that when there are people, they're going to come with different mindset, they're going to come with different attitude, behavior, and so on and so forth. As a startup person who is like, I gonna do everything, and you become like, oh, I'll take care of this, I'll take care of, how do you now manage people? Because that probably would be the most challenging aspect, I personally believe. And how do you do that?
Um, Here's what I do. Actually, I don't manage people. I actually don't believe in the concept of managing, because I think we manage non-living things or animals and plants, but the humans actually do not need management from your side. But here's what I do. I actually care for people a lot. And if you care for people a lot, they will manage your business, they will manage you, and they will do things that typically team members or people in 9 to 5 job will not. Yes, there are a lot of clashes which happens, there are a lot of challenges which comes, but having a sense of care and compassion for people, that actually helps me to run the business and to manage, I mean, to myself, and to work with the people. They manage themselves everything. Like I've been traveling last few days, and work goes on. Like the people not call me, message me, except for one or two people that I directly work with. They are the people who are working with people and taking care of people. But I just care for people so much that it becomes no brainer that they will care for you in return. And the example I'll give you is, I always think that, hey, what is it that my team member is struggling with in terms of finances, mindset, in terms of career, in terms of relationship, and I take their problem as my problem, right? It's not that, oh, XYZ person is facing this problem in their personal life. No, no, no. That person's problem is your problem, right? And when you get to that level of leadership, when you get to that level of care and compassion, and I've lived with that examples, like so many team members, they come up with this problem as, you know what, my number one focus is to support you in helping you to get out of this situation or manage this, whether it's a relationship, whether taking care of the family, whether it's finances, whether it's mindset, whatever it is. I said, this is my priority now. So when you take their life and their challenges as your priority, they take your life, your business as their priority. And that's when the marriage, true marriage and coordination and collaboration happens in a team. So that's what I do typically. And there's a lot, but in short, this is what I do.
True, true. No, that's really nice. The word compassion speaks volumes, and I think that's really good. And you're absolutely right. We don't manage people. It's just the wrong way of putting across a statement or a word. But yeah, if you're compassionate enough, people do reciprocate in tens of times better than what they would do if you manage them. Fantastic. There are still a lot of comments. Let me pick up one or two quickly here. Ankit Gupta says, congrats, Amit. Glad to see Gurudev on your show. Blessed to be part of Passionpreneurs. My heartiest gratitude to Gurudev, of course.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Madhuji says, wow, kill yourself to reborn every year. Absolutely. That is the thing. Now, I know we are almost coming. It's forget the time for a few more minutes.
Yeah.
I might not get you soon again. So I just wanted to know, how did you connect with Dan Lok?
Um, it happened by fluke. I was just actually, funny part. I think very few people know this is when I was just starting my journey of educating and helping people. I had built some community on WhatsApp where I was doing daily WhatsApp message and motivation and mindset and all that. It's called CareNation group, and we had few hundred people there. One fine day, I shared a tip or message about passive income, and people, somebody from the group said, "Hey, why don't we do a session on passive income?" I said, "Yeah, we can do that. Do you think people will come?" He said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Why don't we do a physical seminar?" I said, "Great. Why don't we do that?" And there was other person in the group. He had his small conference room in his office. I said, "Hey, can we use your office?" He said, "Yeah, yeah." I launched this thing and I sent out the message, that hey, we're gonna have a passive income workshop and all those things. Now, I was teaching passive income, and I not build one, so it's tricky for me, right? But I do not wanted to share things which I said, "Oh, I've done the passive income," and you listen to me. I said, "Man, I've researched a lot about passive income. I'm gonna share my knowledge." So I did a lot of research, and in that research, I found Dan Lok's video. How do you build passive income? And I referred that video. I hooked onto it, just like Grant Cardone thing happened. Dan Lok thing happened also by fluke, and I just consumed his content, read his book, "Fu Money," and I got hooked onto him. After a few days, the session was over. It was great. It was my actual first ever session I did in a physical environment. This was, I think, in 2017. And then I just approached Seafood and Log. I wrote a proper email with all of respect and humbleness and gratitude to learning. And I approached him to interview him on my podcast, my show, and he agreed. I was like, wow, that's wonderful. And that's how our journey began for me to know Seafood Dan Lok. And then I attended his webinar, joined his high ticket closer program, inner circle, and then rest is history. I just moment I got exposed to him, again I swim in his Kool-Aid, just like how I did in Grant Cardone, right? I bought all his courses, all his books, all his programs, learned everything, submerged myself in learning. Same thing happened with Seafood, and I still continue to do the same thing. So that's how I found Seafood Dan Lok. You're on mute, I think. You're on mute.
Sorry, my bad. It's very interesting because you dropped a note, and you got a response, and you yeah, like you said, rest is history. We've seen so many amazing images with you and Dan Lok, in many places. Fantastic. Now let me ask you this: with all this success, there will be haters, and there will be plenty of them. I'm assuming, right? Share about that, and do you have any, I'm sure you as a person, at least the way I know you, you'll not hate your haters, but was there any one specific in your head that always sticks around, that, oh man, this was one of the most compelling statement or something that a person put across, and how do you handle that?
There've been many. One person, not really a hater, but more like a demotivating statement, is when I was initially beginning my journey as a coach, as a speaker. There was one video I put out of some session that I did. And this one person said that, you know, you are so lame the way you talk also. How do you become a speaker? Like, how did you become a speaker? I was like, oh, that is so bad. And it just hurt. And, there's no energy and all. That was one which I remember, recall right now. Not that I dwell on it, but as if I think I remember that now. And then several people came. Like some people went extreme. They actually made like 20 minutes video, 15-minute video on me, saying that is Dev Gadhvi, fake, and this, there, Hindi mein bhi hai, English wale bhi hai, foreigner bhi hai. They started making hate video. There's one guy on LinkedIn started running a campaign against me, saying, shaming things and saying things, 9 to 5 this, 9 to 5 that, and people are just, fooling people, they just, make the mentees cry and they're becoming successful, and all those things that's happened. But I think to me, this is an indication that we are moving in the right direction. My philosophy is simple, that more you hate me, more you talk about me, more I'm going to show with my results, more I'm going to prove you with my results. So more, either you continue to hate me more, or you start loving me and admiring me for this thing. You can hate me, but you can't ignore me. See, the worst thing that can happen to anybody is not hate, is ignorant. Like people ignoring me. Like ignorance is bad. I don't want people to ignore me. Like you love me or you hate me, but don't ignore me. If you are in the invisible zone that nobody talks about you, nobody hates on you, that means you're not done much. You're actually not done much. So if you look at anybody who's been successful, even महात्मा को नहीं छोड़ा है, भगवानों को नहीं छोड़ा है, तो हम तो सादे simple इंसान है, तो हमको क्या छोड़ेंगे इंसान? So it's good. It's good that when the hate comes, it's good. There's an indication that we're moving forward. And my answer is by my success. Whether it is more money, whether it's $1 million event, whether it's a Ferrari, somebody is buying a Ferrari within 3.5 years of starting a business. I just prove myself by the results. That's what I do.
Wow. No, it's very interesting. But you're right. Either you hate or love. Yeah, ignorance will not. Yeah, that means you're not doing more. I mean, you're not reborn probably in that way, like you said.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
there's I know with the time, and I'm not gonna take up a lot of time. There are still a lot of comments coming in. But let me ask you the second last question. All right, then I'll jump to the last one. The second last question is, tell me a bit to the audience, because there's a lot of new audience who also listens to my show, and across many places, is that what exactly is Passionpreneur Mastermind all about? What happens there?
You see, when I was on this journey, 2016, 2017, I had to learn so many things from different people. I had to learn funnel building from John Pemberthy. I had to learn affiliate marketing from somebody. I had to learn high ticket closing from Dan Lok. I had to learn sales from Grant Cardone, content marketing from Gadhvi's content, and book writing from some other guys. And I felt the pain that, man, there's so many things I need to learn, and they're all scattered. I need to put all the pieces together, bring all this together to build something tangible which can help people. And when I was looking in the marketplace at that time, I was attending so many coaches and trainers programs and 1-day events and 2-day events and online and physical. I saw there was a big missing chunk is everybody was sharing knowledge. First, it was in silo. Second, it was more theoretical. There was nobody who said, you know what, here's the knowledge, I'm going to help you to execute it. Because problem कहाँ आता है? Execution में आता है. सीखने को तो excitement में सब सीख लेते हैं, पैसा दे देते हैं courses में. I said, man, I want to create something which will help people to execute, because it took me 1.5, 2 years to finally make money out of my passion. I need to help people to do that in just few months. And that's how I started my journey as a Passionpreneur mentor and put this program, Passionpreneur Mastermind, from 2018. And now it has evolved. It's got already 4th or 5th version of it. And what makes difference, or what is so different about Passionpreneur Mastermind is it's a one-stop place, one-stop solution, right? You don't need to become a zombie, learning junkie, learning from different places, different people. You learn from one person, holistic process, holistic knowledge. As an employee, you don't know what to do, you don't know what is your passion, no problem. It covers everything, length and breadth of mentorship, length and breadth of business. And people are using their skills, their talents and abilities to launch a business as a coach, as a mentor. Some people even opening the mithai shop, and some people, some Shuza is having a grocery shop. So you take any concept, any idea that you have in your mind, the best winning idea, not all the ideas. Take one best winning idea and launch yourself as an entrepreneur within 4 to 6 months. That is the program which is not available in marketplace. I've seen so many. There's some good ones, but actually the results very few people are focusing on. That's what the Passionpreneur Mastermind, learning from starting from passion to building your social presence, to building your authority, to building your products, whether it's book writing, other programs, learning how to sell one-on-one or on the webinar, how to build the funnels, how to close from the funnels, how to build your authority, and automating everything. Like one-stop solution is like 12 programs in one. That is what I deliver, that you don't have to go outside shopping for anything. And once you invest, you're all set.
Wow, that's really awesome. Now let me ask you this: if someone has to come and join your group, what would they do? What's the process? What's the steps someone has to follow? Is there a link that we can put it on all the 3 platforms that we are live in probably later, and that they can follow through?
Yes, definitely. The first thing is attend the 3-hour masterclass. 3.5 hour of masterclass. If you like and if you love the content, and if you feel this is the right place, and if I'm the right mentor, you want to continue to learn, then there's a 3-day event. You attend the 3-day event where you learn complete blueprint. And then if you want my support, my team support to help you to execute it, then you apply for a mentorship program. And then of course it will be a process, interview forms. We are very particular who we bring to Passionpreneur Mastermind. We are very selective. This is not the place that, here's my money, please take me in. No, you need to have right character, attitude as well. And we don't really care how much of your knowledge it is there, your experience, who you are, where you come from. It doesn't matter, as long as your right character, right attitude to become a humble student. So that is a process. So webinar, 3-day event, and the mentorship program. This is the process. So you get to know us, and we get to know you, and then we can join. About the link, yes, I'm going to share that link with you guys, with you, Amit. You can share this in all the platforms later on, that they can join the webinar.
Absolutely. That would be really wonderful, because most of the people, the whole idea of the show is always is that I want the people to then connect with my guests so that they can keep growing and learning. And that's where the impact happens for me. Because if one person gets connected to any of my guests for whatever reason, I made some impact in their life. And of course, in this case, I'm sure there would be a lot of people who can connect and, gain a lot of knowledge and understanding.
Yes.
All right. I'll just quickly run through a few more comments, and then I'm gonna, ask the last question. Subrata says it's always inspiring to listen to him.
Thank you.
I must confess, Dave is one of the person from whom I got the confidence within me that yes, me too can change my life. Requesting to share a proven practical method to remove procrastination. Any quick tip?
Yeah, I mean, actually, procrastination does not even exist. I'll tell you, reason why people don't take action is either you're fearful, or you're fearful. That's why you're not taking action. Or the thing that you are looking to do, it actually does not have a stronger meaning why you're doing it. Like if you do not have the why of you going to gym attached and very clear that why am I going to gym, why I need to become fit. If that is not clear, if your why is not, you're not clear on that, and you're not committing to your why, of course you'll procrastinate, because there's no reward that you see outside. Or if you're trying to launch something or build something, but you have a fear associated with that, maybe fear comes from not knowing something. When you have that fear, you will procrastinate. So your commitment has to be much higher, so that there will be no procrastinating. And at
Wow.
the same time, sometimes it is okay to procrastinate as well, if it is not really hampering your life, um, as long as you're doing a lot. But if you take 10x action and then you procrastinate maybe 1x, sometimes it's okay. But if you have 1x action and you procrastinate even 1x, it's not good, right? So all the people, you still have to think about taking massive action. And I procrastinate sometimes. It's okay. It's okay, because life is for living and not just hustling. So yeah, but if it is doing more damage to you, if you're not even doing justice to action, then it's not good.
Wow. Awesome. Uh, quickly. Okay. Sorry that Sridhar MK says, congrats, Amit, for having Gurudev in your show. It's always pleasure to listen. Absolutely. Grateful to Gurudev and all the mentors to help transform our mindset where we were before starting Passionpreneur journey. And Atul, such a privilege to listen Dave sir again and again. Yeah, it is. It is. All right. So last question, Dave. I asked this to all my guests, and the question is regarding the concept of my show. Do you believe that telling stories, sharing stories, is impactful? It's going to help somebody.
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. And I've seen a lot of people have very powerful stories, but they don't even share. Because the problem is they don't even believe that their story is powerful. And this happened with most of my mentees when they came to Passionpreneur Mastermind. They thought that, oh, my story is not powerful. I don't think I've achieved much. And I used to think the same thing, that, oh, okay, what's the big deal? Like, come from a humble background. So many people come from humble background. So many people come from poor family. What is the big deal about that? But I realized I was wrong. More I share about my story, more I connect with people, and more difference I can make to them. So, without any doubt, stories, if you share your story, it has a power to change lives. And if you see all the greatest people on this earth, they were great storytellers. All the people, all the leaders, all the legends, they actually shared the story, their story, other people's story, their observation, their incidents. Stories have the power to impact. See, numbers and data will repel. Stories will stay and impact. So tell more story, tell your story, and keep telling more and more and more story. And people love story. They want to listen to your story. Trust me, they want to listen to your story. You have to just do more of storytelling and story sharing. That's it.
Absolutely. That's so profound. Thank you very much. With that, I will thank you, Dave, once again for spending your time with me and blessing my 50th episode. It's been fantastic journey. And again, thanks to you so that I've initiated this, my second life. And it's been amazing, amazing. And I'm sure there would be loads and loads of things that's going to happen with me as well going forward. And
You've come a long way, Amit. I'm telling you, the very, very few people who have the grit and determination, the level of determination that you have. And I remember you invited me for your show. I said, look, I'm gonna do, but you need to continue. I'm gonna probably be the 50th person. From since then, you've been having so persistence, action and diligent in doing. It's not a joke to have 50th episode. Like, people just give up in fifth, and you're doing 50th, which is unbelievable. So more power to you, and more power to all the guests who have come on your show and who will come on your show. Keep impacting through the powerful stories that you share.
thank you. Absolutely. That's so sweet to hear from your Gurudev itself. And with that, we come to end of the another amazing and impactful 50th episode. And if you want to connect, I'm going to share the links that Dave and his team would probably share it with me in some time. And I'm going to put it on to all the three platforms, that's LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, where we live. And if you're listening this in the audio recorded version, make sure to connect and go through all the comments. And if you want to come to my show and impact people like how Dave did and all the other guests have done, just ping me and I'll connect with you and we can work it out. All right. Dave, any last words from your end?
The last word is, man, don't be ordinary, because you're born to be legendary. So be legendary, don't stay ordinary.
Wonderful. And I'm just going to close on to that. I want to leave the cachet there. Be legendary, everyone. Take care of yourself and your loved ones, and God bless you. Thank you very much, Dave. Once again, God bless you too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, everybody.